That's how I test it to see if it's working. Hello, Pisces, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to your weekly pre-shuffle with me. This is where we get the context for your weekly ahead. I do this over on Patreon. The link is in the description box below if any of this resonates with you or your situation, or if you are cross-watching for you this week. What we shall do is explain your download, and then we pull your love oracle, and we get 3 positions of the regular tarot. So, my lovely Pisces, what I'm getting for you this week is musical therapy. So, I don't know if you're a musician or if you're playing instruments or if you just listen to music a lot. I mean, like a lot. Um, or if you're a teacher, you might be like a teacher. Maybe you are like giving musical lessons or something. It's like, or or if you're a regular teacher, you may have been thinking about incorporating music in your teachings this week or in some kind of manner. So I'm not sure what's going to come out in terms of how to give this some form and structure and context. But what I mean is that there's something that you're treating. You're getting therapy for something. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. We have a codependency. Shocker. I'm just kidding. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. We have wedding. The situation involves marriage. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Pisces, it feels like you are the person you're connecting to this week. You want things to go well. You want things to work. But, there's just things that I'm getting a little bit of a dark energy from this religious factors card too. It's almost like an indoctrination that you grew up in is just, and not necessarily like you grew up going to a cult church or anything. Like it could have even been you were indoctrinated into thinking about yourself in a certain way or looking at relationships in a certain way or, normalizing things that are very abusive or traumatic or something. Okay. But I'm getting that music helps, but honestly, there's so much more here, especially with the codependency. So even if someone wants something, if they are already so very codependent on something, anything else, really, if they're not an independent, self-disciplined, energetic entity, there's no way. It's just too big of a jump. Anyone that has, very extreme codependent behaviors and tendencies, the number one priority should be to work on their own energy healing and to work on their own stuff. It's like unfair. It's unfair to really ask of someone else to show up for a whole other human being or show up to all of these big, huge stresses and responsibilities when they can't even cope with their own energies. It's kind of it's selfish. It's selfish. Maybe cruel is going a little bit too far with that, but honestly, Pisces, this is your reading. So I always make you guys the heroes, whoever I'm reading for. And that's kind of how it is. Like if you are working through some codependencies and someone else is trying to get you to be even more and trying to get you to perform beyond what you can do, that's kind of cruel. As if that person knows that you have like a disability, if that person knows that you don't have a capability, if the person knows that you have these, everything else. It's now it doesn't mean that you can't fall in love. I mean, there's romantic feelings, there's give your relationship a chance, and weddings could be someone you're married to. You might be married to someone, Pisces. So, we try, you want to try. And, maybe it's a little bit like 2 steps forward, 1 step back in some of the progress, but the codependency is still there. So let's elaborate on this. See, I knew there was going to be a strength with the 4 of Pentacles. These crutches that we all choose our poison. We all pick our poison. And so for you, Pisces, or for the person that you're connecting with this week, this is something that's really been there for them, whether it is an addiction, whether it is feeling a certain way, whether it is thinking about life or themselves a certain way. it's an unhealthy, toxic thing. It's a codependency. It's toxic and unhealthy, but it's like all they have, or it's all you have, or it's something that's always been there, is how you're feeling it. And it can be kind of scary to let that go. It can be really sad to grieve something that is so unhealthy, but that has always been there for us. So hold space for yourself for that and allow yourself to really, I the watch Natalie is private right now. It's like Scorpio season private. But I shared I'll share this phrase again when I do the new moon in Scorpio live stream here on YouTube, and then we go on Patreon afterwards. It's a big thing. We have a great time, and then I'm also doing the crypto on Thursday as well. That shall also be on Patreon and the nights here. But this new moon is really got this cemetery vibe for me. Not just because I used to be a cemeterian, but it's just got this dark vibe, like all this Scorpio energy, and then whatever is decaying and falling away, and it's this big purging of maybe for you something you're codependent on. Hopefully that would be ideal. But what I'm getting at is, even when we bury someone, when we cremate someone, we have rites. Every culture has different rites, funeral rites, rituals. I think, what is it, Dia de los Muertos or something like that going on, so it's like you might want to figure out how you're going to grieve and mourn and truly let go, put it in the ground, never to be resurrected again. Hopefully it's not like a zombie addiction, but I mean, everyone's situation is different. No one's gonna just choose to be addicted to something, I mean, before you incarnate, you might be like, I'm gonna work on the soul energy and the soul work. And the truth shall set you free. Okay, so you may be inspired to take a huge leap of faith, Pisces. You may be jumping into something that, you're like, you know what? It's a clean slate. This is a new chance. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I would only condone this if there's a spiritual aspect to this, if there's some energy work. The temperance energy is literally energy work, working with radiant energy and balancing it back and forth until you get to that equal ratio. So you might be learning how to work with your own energy. You might be doing some energy work on your own, or learning from someone or something. Maybe you're in an AA group, or you're something that's hopefully, if you want to start something like that, if you want to start a meditation course or what have you, this is a great indication for it. It's a great confirmation for you. The answer is yes, the happy baby. Oh, and 6 of Cups, bottom of the deck. So if this is like a marriage, you will have to do something different that you've never done before in order to keep the good vibes going. In order to truly give your relationship a chance, you have to start something new. You have to enter in a program. You have to, and the music that I'm getting for you, the music therapy, that could be a great confirmation for you as you are looking for, I don't know, a facility or a program or something to start or join. Maybe they have like a special unit or a special program that incorporates musical therapy for codependent issues. That would be like, oh yeah, my Pisces weekly. That's what it is. That's is my sign. Okay. So this has a longer story to it, and I'm going to go ahead and get into it in the extended. That is in the description box below. It's the Patreon. So if any of this is resonating, if you'd like to do some additional energy work with me, with moi, feel free to join us on the flip side. Otherwise, Pisces, I hope to see you next week in next week's pre-shuffle. Until then, loves, many, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.